Today we're going to do a Foley catheter demonstration. I will be doing a catheter for a male patient. And before we get started, I just want to make a little point that there are multiple ways to insert a Foley catheter. You can use the bedside table, you can set up in the bed. All of these are correct as long as you do it with sterile technique. So as we're going through this, we'll go over some of the rules of sterile field. So it doesn't matter how you set yourself up, just set yourself up for success that you can do this in a sterile fashion. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my patient has an order for a Foley catheter. I will come in first, assess my patient by identifying name and birthday, and then I'll make sure that they have their perineal area clean. I don't want to come in here to do a sterile field and then discover my patient has soiled themselves. So I want to make sure the patient's clean. Then I will gather my supplies. Really the only thing I need is a Foley catheter kit. Make sure that it's not open, there's no holes, it's within date. So I'll check my kit, my expiration date is good. So now I'm going to open up. So if you choose to use your table, I'll show you how to set yourself up. But let's go ahead and uncover our patient. All right, I'm going to lay my patient back. I'm also going to raise the bed up to a good working height. Okay, so if you want to use your table, the best way I can suggest is to go ahead and bring it over here, because now I have my table and my field, I have the perineal area all right in my view of sight. If I leave my table here, no matter what I do, I'm going to be turning my back on a part of my field. So I would not leave it here. Another option is that you could slide your table here and come on this side. So either of these options are fine. Just make sure that you set yourself up for success in the beginning, or you're going to get yourself messed up later. So I personally do not like using the table, so I'm going to use the bed. So I'm going to expose my patient and open their legs up. This mannequin doesn't really do it well, but you would like your patient to be kind of like in the frog leg position. But this mannequin's got, its hips don't really work that way. So I'm going to put my field here on the bed. Remove my trash. I'm going to set this up for a trash bag at the end of the bed. So to open my sterile field, I'm going to start with the first flap is away from me. Do my little pinches to keep it open. All right, and then I have one to each side. And then my last flap comes towards me. So those are your rules of sterile field with opening your package. All right, so then my gloves, I'm going to reach in from the top to get my gloves. You don't want to get under here because your fingers might accidentally touch the tray beneath, so I want to pinch to pick up my gloves. I'm going to set those for just a second. All right, so when I'm going to put my gloves on, I want to make sure that I don't turn my back, so I need to adjust my table when I'm putting on my gloves to where I can step back and still see all of my field. that. Now I don't want to touch anything over here just because I don't want to risk it, so I'm going to use my foot and slide that out of the way. Alright, so now I have my sterile gloves on. I can touch all I want to inside of this kit within the 1-inch border. I'm now sterile. I cannot touch that 1-inch border, but I can touch everything else in here. So I'm going to pick up my drape. Again, I'm sterile. I can touch it all I want to. Alright, shiny side needs to be down because this is your waterproof side. So now I'm going to let go of the 1-inch border and slide it in, staying inside. Alright, I don't like my position of my bucket here, so I'm going to pick it up and adjust. Again, staying within the 1-inch border. I personally do not like this drape, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to drop it. You notice when I drop from above. I don't want to come down inside of my trash bag because that's a non-sterile field. So I have to drop from above. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set up everything. So these are my swabs. So I'm going to go ahead and open and get those exposed. And I'm going to drop my trash again from 6 inches. Drop from above. Alright, I'm only going to use one set of swab sticks, so I don't need these. So drop from above. This is my saline to inflate the bulb. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up and take the sheath off of my catheter. Now when you're taking the sheath off the catheter, maintain control of your catheter. Do not let the catheter flop and touch anything. So I'm going to lay that down. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hook up my balloon. I'm not going to inflate the balloon at this time. I'm just going to set it down. Now my lubrication, I'm going to open that. And I'm going to squirt it right here. Go ahead and get my catheter. That was close. I'm glad it didn't go out of my 1-inch border. I would have had to start all over. I'm going to put that in my lubrication and let it sit. Alright, so now I'm ready to do my swabs. So now comes the time when you're going to have to contaminate a hand. So I'm going to lose my non-dominant hand and I'm going to grab the penis. Starting with the meatus, I'm going to go from the inside and swab down the shaft, bringing it away from my field, dropping it in the trash. Again, start from the middle, go around, bring it away from my field, and drop. And then the last one, same thing, the middle, come around my field, and drop. Now I can get my catheter. And insert my catheter. Make sure that you don't go all the way to where your sterile hand touches the penis. So stay 1 inch away and slide in. Now for a male catheter, I'm going to go all the way to the Y. Alright, so with this mannequin, that's as far as it's going to let me go. So I'm going to stabilize again 1 inch away and inflate my balloon. Alright, the sterile part is now over. I pull back for resistance I take my stat lock if I have one. There's not one in this kit. A lot of them come with the kits now. And I will attach the stat lock to the leg to secure the catheter so that it can hopefully prevent the catheter from sliding in and out of the meatus and causing an infection. I'll clean my patient up and my catheter is now done.